Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a pick a card reading on the narcissistic friend. So we're going to be talking a lot more about narcissistic abuse the next couple of months because November and December are months that narcissists tend to hoover you. Narcissists tend to be really intense around this time of year, and it's also common to become more aware of the narcissistic people in your life. So I will have other posts talking more about narcissists. I also have a pick a card reading called How to Leave the Narcissist, and you can check that out. It describes more about what narcissists are, but today we're talking about narcissism in the context of a friendship or a best friend, okay? So I'm going to read to you guys. This is actually a post from one of my favorite narcissistic abuse survivor accounts called Don't Gaslight Me, Bruh. So check that out. And I'm going to read you a list of traits of a narcissistic friend. So if you've been drawn to this reading, chances are you already know who this person is. Perhaps you're already no contact with this person and they're out of your life and you're just looking for clarity on it. Maybe you're wondering, do I have a narcissistic friend? Or perhaps you know and you're still hanging out with them and you're just like, what do I do? We're gonna have you pull cards to just kind of unfold the situation and see what what's going on with you and this person. And I do want to read you guys some traits of a narcissistic friend in case you're wondering. So let's start with these traits, okay? So first of all, a narcissistic friend likes to undermine your college work, your career, and your hobbies. So for instance, let's say that you're getting into tarot. Maybe your narcissistic friend laughs at you and says that it's stupid, or what are you doing, or that's weird. Maybe you have just finished a thesis paper or something and you got like an A on it and you did a really good job, and they're going to tell you that their thesis was better or that your topic was lame, or they're not going to acknowledge it or something like that. Or they might even steal ideas from you. If you guys are in the same class or something, they might write a paper on a similar topic. Maybe you go out for a certain career and they try to go out for the same thing. Maybe they try to, brag about their career and say it's better than yours. They can undermine it in many different ways. These are just random examples. They have many ways. Next, your narcissistic friend takes the side of the primary abusers in your life. So if you were abused by like a boyfriend or something like that, then your narcissistic friend will still hang out with them, or will make excuses for them, or will maybe even horribly enough say that you deserved it, or not believe you, or not acknowledge that. Maybe if your narcissist is a parent or something, they'll tell you you're overreacting. They'll make friends with your parent. And so, they're going to take the side of the primary abuser in your life. A narcissistic friend will sometimes utilize humor to mask verbal abuse. Like, they'll be like, wow, you're getting kind of chubby, and then they'll laugh and pat your belly or something, and then they'll be like, I'm just kidding. That's something they'll do a lot, actually, is say something mean about you or your physical appearance, or put you down, but then they'll laugh and say, JK, just kidding. And sometimes they might even do this in front of other people and try to embarrass you. Your narcissistic friend will exclude you socially, so they might go out with a group of friends and purposely not invite you. Your narcissistic friend constantly criticizes your appearance and or your intellect. We kind of already touched on that, but they will put you down for your ideas. They will put down your appearance. They'll be like, what are you wearing? Or like say something kind of like that and question you. The narcissistic friend is very two-faced and acts different around certain people, and you will notice that. The narcissistic friend plays the victim while vilifying you, the true victim. So you might be crying about something and upset, and then all of a sudden your narcissistic friend will start crying and they'll become the victim. So they can't allow you to be the victim for anything, even something they've caused. They are always the victim. Your narcissistic friend will stonewall you and silent give you the silent treatment to punish you for anything that they perceive to be as a slight. So they will stonewall you, they won't reply to your texts, they will randomly give you the silent treatment until you figure out what it is you've supposedly done wrong and come and grovel at their feet, or until they decide that they're just over it. Your narcissistic friend will sabotage your potential romantic relationship. And I've heard this a lot from clients actually about, you'll be dating someone and then your friend steals this person from you and starts dating them. Or they'll cheat on you, they'll cheat with your boyfriend or something like that, or your girlfriend. And so this is pretty awful. They will sabotage your relationship. They might go behind your back, and maybe you've told your narcissistic friend something in secret, and they'll go and tell your partner behind your back and stir up things behind your back with your romantic partner. Your narcissistic friend constantly one-ups you. So maybe you get, for instance, maybe you get a Tiffany's bracelet and then they go out the next day and buy the Tiffany necklace. Or, maybe you get some Nike shoes and then they go out and buy the limited edition pair of the same shoes you have. Maybe you get your hair cut a certain style and then they go out and get their hair cut the same style but better or different. Or it has a lot to do with material stuff. It could be that you make a decision and then they make a similar decision. So they're always one-upping you. You decide that you're going to run a little 5K and they go out and they run a marathon. And so this is kind of what they do. They have to one-up you. Narcissistic friends always let you down after making arrangements. They will cancel on you if something better comes along. They're what I call boyfriend ditchers or girlfriend ditchers. They will ditch you for somebody at the drop of a hat, especially if it's a significant other or someone they're trying to date. Of course, they will gaslight and blame shift if you call them out on any of their behaviors. So gaslighting, it's a whole other topic, but they will actually be I never said that, or you're making it up, or you're being too sensitive, or you can't hold them accountable, basically. Narcissistic friends will turn others against you with triangulation and smear campaigns. So all of a sudden your whole group of friends is mad at you, or they'll turn your family against you. Honestly, they'll turn anyone against you. They will keep you on the fringes of their lives, so they will basically keep you close enough to be able to inflict that pain and suffering, but but also find a way to exclude you, like we talked about earlier. Your narcissistic friend has no respect for your privacy and they overstep your boundaries. So maybe you tell your narcissistic friend that you don't want to talk about a certain topic, but then once they find out that's a boundary, they will constantly overstep that. They will constantly bring it up. They will constantly, they won't give you privacy. Maybe they walk in on you while you're using the bathroom, or all of a sudden they'll just pull their pants down and start peeing, or they'll, obviously in a toilet, or they'll just start getting naked in front of you. And, with friends, sometimes you're comfortable, but they constantly have this weird thing with exhibitionism and just flaunting their body in front of your face and getting naked and not respecting your privacy. And maybe they you leave your phone out and they grab your phone and they go through it and they're like, oh, I read this message that you sent this person. They do crazy stuff like that. They don't support you during hard times because they can't. If you're having a hard time, they're going to tell you, I'm having a hard time, and become the victim, and they're just going to, all of a sudden, it's going to be about them. The narcissistic friend doesn't celebrate your accomplishments, and so it's really important to look around. When you have an accomplishment, who isn't clapping? Who has a sour look on their face? They often get mad at you on your birthday, too. They won't pay attention to you, or they might get you a present, but they'll act weird that day. We have a couple more things and then we'll get into your pick a card reading. Your narcissistic friend never allows you to be right about anything, and nothing is ever their fault. Go figure. Your narcissistic friend betrays you by spreading secrets and starting rumors. Any of you guys been through that? Here's another one. Your narcissistic friend is passive aggressive to you by cyber abuse. So they might leave weird emojis on selfies of yours, or say something kind of snarky underneath one of your posts. You might post like a really beautiful picture of yourself and talk about something you've been through, and then they'll write just something weird and kind of undermining underneath it. Very passive aggressive. It's not outright, so when people read it, they're like, wow, they're so mean. It'll be just confusing, only something you'll know is a slight or is offensive. Your narcissistic friend tries to make you look crazy and angry in front of other people by baiting you. Your narcissistic friend could steal from you. Your narcissistic friend intentionally triggers your painful old wounds, bringing up things from the past. They might triangulate you with your significant other, so they often turn your significant other against you. They could spiritually abuse you and use religion to shame you. So maybe you're trying to explore your religion and your faith, but your narcissistic friend is telling you that you're disobeying God or whatever it is, you know? They're not open to you just being your own person spiritually. They might, if you grew up religiously with them, they will use that against you. And then your narcissistic friend bans you from bringing up certain topics, yet dominates most conversations. So you're like, I don't even know what to talk about with this person because everything's off limits. But then you try to set boundaries with them and they won't allow that to happen. So anyways, you guys, this is an interesting topic. What we're going to do is just uncover what's going on between you and this person. If you're sure you have a narcissistic friend or you've had a narcissistic friend, then participate in this reading. If you read that list and you're like, no, I don't know anybody like that, then this reading probably isn't for you. So I just want to be honest, this reading may not resonate with everyone. It's a very niche reading. It's on a very specific topic. So if you want to continue with this, go ahead and choose a crystal. Number 1, the snow quartz. Number 2, the garnet stone. Number 3, the blue jasper. Or number 4, the crystal from Yemen. So if you choose number 1, the snow quartz, we're going to get started. And if you choose any of the other crystals or numbers, then head to the comments below where some of my lovely subscribers always post the timestamps for me. Thank you so much, you guys. So number 1, let's get started. We're going to see what is going on with this person and this situation that you're in with a narcissistic friend. Whoa, this is intense. I drew cards from every deck I had just to see what would come out, and this is actually quite cohesive. So we're actually seeing the Queen of Swords, okay? So this is likely what your narcissistic friend is like, okay? So this is somebody, it could be an air sign, or they have a lot of air in their chart. Maybe their moon sign is an air sign. This is somebody who has a very keen and perceptive mind. You know, she might be pretty. It's possible she has dark hair, but not always. You know, she has a lot of thoughts. She has a lot of ideas. She loves dancing. She loves partying. But she does kind of have a sad side. Like, she does kind of have a chip on her shoulder, and she's very familiar with sorrow and with mourning. She doesn't have a lot of empathy, so she lacks empathy. And that is something that does sometimes go along with the Queen of Swords archetype. I'm seeing that it's like she doesn't really offer comforting words. She doesn't really do anything to try to help others. Obviously, she's narcissistic, so she's very self-centered. It could be a he as well. Okay, this could be a he. I am feeling this like this is a she. I feel like a lot of you guys, honestly, most of you guys who come to this channel, I saw in my reviews that like 98% are females. So we're gonna be talking a lot about she's, but it could be a he as well, okay? So I just wanna say, if it's a he, then just every time I say she, think of it as a he, okay? Or a they. Maybe this is somebody who doesn't subscribe to a gender. But I do feel this feminine energy coming from them. This is somebody who's bitter. They're in and out of relationships. And so, you know, they go through a series of relationships. It's hard for them to stay committed to one romantically. This is someone who is very independent, very strong-willed, and, you know, really does not acknowledge the weakness in herself, but she looks at the weakness in others. Her advice is biased and not fair, and is usually delivered with a sharp tongue. And so she can be very powerful. People are drawn to her. She doesn't have a lot of sympathy for others. She's very independent. She's very rigid, tactless, and can be prudish. And so, doesn't that sound lovely? Now, next we're seeing the Guardian. This is a card that can be talking about narcissism, somebody who's very malicious. So I see this as a friend who is very possessive over you, because this is the Guardian. It talks about protection, but in this context, it's almost making me think this is somebody who's very protective of you in a way, or possessive of you. They want to know where you're going, what you're doing, like they always have their eye on you, and they feel possessive, almost like you're their friend. They have a lot of constriction on you. They don't want you to be friends with other people. They get jealous of your other friends, yet they have a whole life outside of you, you know? And so next I'm also seeing that this is somebody who is not a soulmate. This is a karmic relationship. Sometimes I do see when someone is in a narcissistic friendship that they're actually soulmates, and there's just like healing that needs to happen through this. But I honestly see that this is a karmic relationship. And so very strong karmic relationship here. And honestly, I'm also seeing deception. You know, it says someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. And that is how it goes with narcissists. They will wear a mask, they will love bomb you, they will act like they care about you, and but then they will devalue you and discard you, and it's actually a cycle of abuse. So they will come to you when they need something, or when they need that narcissistic supply. And this is a true narcissist, you know, so this is somebody who is actually not wanting to give that love and kindness. In fact, they are wanting to see you hurt and see you in pain. What narcissistic supply is it's somebody that actually gets supply, or is chemically addicted to seeing others suffer and seeing others in pain. Basically, they are causing pain, intentionally inflicting wounds onto you, because that's what makes them feel alive. And so narcissists are addicted to supply in the same way that people are addicted to food or to drugs or to alcohol or whatever. And so it's like hashtag can't stop, won't stop, gonna be causing you pain. And what's confusing is sometimes they are kind to you. They do wear that mask and they offer you things, and there are certain perks sometimes to being friends with them. Like when it's good, and you might laugh and you might have good times with them. But I'm honestly seeing that the times where it's low, the times where they're giving you the silent treatment, the times where they're being harsh with you, the times where they're deceiving you is not right, you know? And then something else, maybe in this narcissistic friendship, they're constantly comparing themselves to you, like their body. This is about body issues. So it's saying this friendship could be causing body issues. So there's a beautiful message coming out that says, what could be blocking you from moving forward is your unacceptance to your physical self. And maybe this person exasperates that. And it's causing you to like emotionally not accept yourself. And so this person might constantly be comparing themselves to you and causing you to compare yourself to them, and has been kind of brainwashing you in that way. And so you're really struggling with comparison. And so this is telling you to follow some body positive and uplifting meme pages, and, you know, play with this idea of accepting yourself 100%. And the message here is that once you start seeing yourself differently, the world will react to you differently. And this person has been lying to you about the truth, about how beautiful you are and how amazing you are, and you don't have to compare yourself to this person. They've projected their own insecurities onto you. So maybe some of the body insecurities you have are just because you've been hanging around this person who's very insecure for so long. So this is adversity, okay? We pulled the adversity card now. And then this is the jealousy card. Secretly, this person is jealous of you and they're threatened by you for maybe your creativity, your beauty, your wisdom. And so it's saying they're going to be twisting the knife. And this is also the betrayal card. So this is a lot right here. This is pretty intense, This is really anchoring down the fact that this person is very narcissistic, and they might not appear like that because they wear a mask. So maybe only you are the one who knows it because you're their victim. And so they could have other victims, maybe people in their family, brothers, sisters, cousins, co-workers, or maybe there's another friend, but this is saying you need to find a way to detach from this so that you're not allowing yourself to be their victim anymore. Because what's going to happen is you detach, they're going to find somebody else to pick on, and it's going to be really crazy watching that. But here's why, okay? Here's why this is happening. You're an empath. You're very sensitive, you're very emotional, you're very smart, and you're very talented, and you're very gifted. So narcissistic people latch on to empaths like this because you're everything that they're not. And there's this jealousy card coming out. And so they'll basically suck ideas out of you. They'll try to almost take over your personality and copy you in a weird way. They'll try to make you look less than to other people. They'll constantly be competing with you and pitting themselves against you, and you'll start losing your sense of who you are as a person because this person's basically stealing your personality from you. And so they're like a leech. And so this is a strong message that you do need to separate yourself from this person. If you're sure that this is narcissistic relationship, trust yourself. And we're going to pull some cards now to see what should you do, knowing this information and having this confirmation. What should you do about this? So they're saying the way out of this is to focus on your beautiful mind. So we're getting messages that you're very creative, and it's because of your beautiful imagination this person might be stuck on you. So they're saying try to find a way to separate slowly but surely, just kind of exit this relationship. And what's going to happen is this person will become enraged. They will go into a narcissistic rage. It might get worse before it gets better, but it's going to be worth it to slowly start separating yourself from this person, even if you have to be alone. And so they're saying what's going to help you through this is your goals. You're going to have time and space now that you're not, being manipulated by this narcissist and hanging out with them anymore. You're actually going to be able to set goals for yourself and accomplish them. And it's actually this really beautiful message that by working towards your goals, your dreams, your plans, and putting all of your time and energy into that instead of this relationship, you're actually going to be able to move past this. Your goals will take you past this. And that's kind of what happened for me. I've had narcissistic friendships in my life. I'm an empath. It just happens. I've learned how to have boundaries and how to recognize the signs. And I don't have any narcissistic people in my life right now, and it's pretty awesome. And there was a time where I was really just on my own, basically trying to, make new friends and stuff. But in that time, I could focus on my goals, and my goals took me far away. My goals have taken me to travel the world. And so your goals could take you far away from this friendship, from this situation, into a whole other group of friends, to your soul family, people that will truly appreciate you for who you are and be there for you and support you, and won't be so toxic and clingy. So your imagination, your insight, and your goals will take you away from this, and learn from this relationship and know that it's actually going to help you to kind of figure out what you do want and what you don't want, and to make better friends in the future. And so hopefully this message resonates with you. I'm going to have a lot more information about narcissistic abuse on my channel soon, but I recommend that you kind of search and read more about it, and just see what it means for you, and find some good advice about it. And if you need to, talk to a therapist about it, write in your journal about it, share it with somebody that you trust, like your parent or something, if you can trust your parent. And find a way to heal through this and separate yourself from this toxicness. So I hope that this resonates with you. I'm sending you so much love and light through this. Peace out. So for those of you guys who chose number 2, the garnet, let's go ahead and get started. We're just going to look into this relationship, see what this is and what's going on with this person, okay? Oh my gosh, I'm already laughing because we got the devil. This person is the devil. Just kidding. We're not doing any name calling today. But this is the card that's talking about trickery. So this is actually saying that the devil represents the worst side of human nature. People who follow, their decadent impulses blindly, judge things for their surface value, are ignorant of what is real and valuable. This person, this narcissistic friend is very haunted by the fear of the unknown. They lack love, they lack kindness, because they view this as a sign of weakness. This is somebody who will take advantage of any situation. They cannot be trusted. This is somebody who holds you prisoner and blinds you by the smoke screen of pretending to be something they're not. So how interesting is that the devil is a mask? It's like represented by a mask somebody wears, because it's a facade that underneath is not really empathy and kindness. And so this is somebody who can be hurtful or unethical. This is somebody who I'm seeing with this friend, like they hook up with a lot of people, like they are very sexually just like out there, which I don't judge that, because everybody has their own body and everybody can use it how they want, and exploring your sexuality is positive. But with this person, I feel like it's extreme. Like this could almost be somebody who has an addiction to sex. I also see a message about this person hurting other people, cheating, backstabbing. They betray people, they tempt people, they flirt with people, and they don't actually take it anywhere. They lead people on. They're kind of delusional. They lie and they deceive people. They're really obsessed with materialism. They might be collecting shoes and handbags or cars, or might all be all about the money with this person. They tell lies about who they are and what they really do. They talk themselves up a lot. And so, this is kind of intense. So this is your friend or somebody you've known, and this is definitely a message they are a narcissist. How does a narcissist become a narcissist? This is like a whole other topic, but I'll just break it down for you real quickly. This is probably somebody who's been abused, or somebody who was born to narcissistic parents, or born to a situation where like one or both of their parents was absent or neglectful, and so they had a lot of pain. And so what they've done is they've boiled and bottled all that pain up inside of them, and they basically just kind of turned into the worst version of themselves, and their ego is like completely taken over, and they lack empathy and they lack that ability to love. Like they are emotionally frozen. And so narcissism is a spectrum, but with this person, I have a feeling with this person, they are a malignant narcissist. Like, I don't know if there's any going back for them. I'm getting the devil card that's like malignant narcissist, somebody you've really got to watch out for. Could even be a sociopath or a psychopath. I'm not here to diagnose people, but they could have tendencies like that. They are completely obsessed with themselves. So narcissism doesn't always mean that they're just all about me, but that is part of it. A huge part of it is they inflict suffering and pain upon other people in order to make themselves feel better and look better. And so I'm seeing that this person is constantly putting you down and causing you to kind of feel worthless, and has really taken a toll on your self-esteem. And you're an empath, and so you want to help this person, and you actually do see the light in them. And that's one of the blessings and a curse of being an empath, is that you can see the light in people. But I feel like there's a message saying it's time to see this person for who they truly are, not for who you wish they could be. And so this is another message that they could have come from a narcissistic family, but they've turned, like they've changed. And this might even be you've been friends with this person for a long time, because it's a saying past life relationship. So maybe this is somebody that you grew up with, or maybe it's somebody that you've known in past lives, and maybe they weren't always like this. I had this happen to me. I've known a lot of narcissists in my life, being such a big empath and all. And I had some narcissistic friends, like people that I grew up with who weren't always narcissistic, but the older and older that they got and the more that they progressed, the more narcissistic they became, the more toxic they became, until it just got so out of hand, I had to disconnect. And so, everyone can have narcissistic tendencies, and there are people who have narcissistic tendencies, but they still have empathy, and they can still apologize, and they can still admit regret, and they still have remorse. But what I'm seeing that's dangerous about this person is they have no regrets. They have no remorse. They are completely incapable of true love. And that's why I see they are having so many toxic, romantic type of relationships over and over that are not helpful, and they could even have a couple divorces under their belt by this time. They could have a couple different children with different people. I kind of get the sense that their life is really tumultuous. They're always going from one thing to the next. It's common with narcissists. But basically there's this message about healing family issues with them. Like their love life will benefit as they begin to forgive their parents and like heal from that, but it's like they're not willing to acknowledge what's actually happened to them in their life, and they might be narcissistic with their family. They might just be, it's just like every relationship with them is tumultuous, it's chaotic. And so notice that around this person and around narcissistic people. When you're away from them for a while, do you get peace? Do you feel like everything's calm again? And then when you get around them, it's chaotic and it's confusing. That's what I call the narcissistic distortion field. There's like a distortion field when you get around those people where everything just starts getting confusing and chaotic. And that's how they like it. They're afraid of peace. And so they're always going to be stirring up drama and chaos because that's what they thrive off of, and that's the only way they know how to live their life. So this is a frenemy. This is another message. This person is not a true friend to you. And I'm going to read you this frenemy card. It says, sometimes people come into your life as an answer to your prayers and as a blessing. But sometimes people come into your life to teach you important lessons about personal boundaries and self-respect. So here's a question for you. Do you have a repeated pattern of being fucked over by your friends and lovers? Did your birth parents or caregivers fuck you over? Maybe you learned along your path that it's okay to accept to be treated less than you deserve. Maybe that's just like what you know. So this is a message to you saying it's time to choose yourself first. Maybe you need to just delete this person, block them, go no contact, and move on. Because I feel like if you try to talk to this person about like maybe we should take some time apart, or maybe we should work on the friendship, they're just gonna go crazy on you and turn it all back on you, make it all your fault. And so there's a message here saying that you need to learn how to protect this light and this love that you carry, because there will be people who will mooch off of it and take advantage of you if you let them. So by saying goodbye to a friendship like this, you actually make room for like-minded people and people who treat you the way that you treat others. Think about the way that you treat others. You're so kind and so forgiving and so sweet to this person, and even when you fight or whatever, you still always apologize and own up to stuff, and you don't get that back. And so it's about what are you giving, what are you actually receiving? Are you just with this person and hanging out with them because you're afraid of what will happen if you disconnect from them? Is it fear that's keeping you in this relationship? Just know right now that the spirit will protect you and help you find a way out of this friendship, and you don't have to accept to be treated like this. Maybe this is someone you've already walked away from, but you just kind of wanted clarity on what this is. Maybe this is a habit for you. Maybe you just keep making narcissistic friend after narcissistic friend. And this happened to me. It was so frustrating, but I kept learning more and more every time. And this is a message I actually wrote regarding a situation like that. It says, are you finding yourself in the same place that you were before? Is this another narcissistic relationship you've had after the falling out of another one? What is it that you need to do differently this time around? So there's a message to you saying that it's not up to you to play judge and jury. Maybe your ego sometimes attaches to other people's drama to distract you. So this friend could be a distraction. They're saying it's time for you to stand up to other people's demands on your thought space and on your energy. This person in this situation has been giving you a lot of anxiety. They're saying, time to be kind to yourself, and also this is saying this person judges you a lot, and a reminder that when they're judging you, it's just a reflection of their own issues. It has everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. So what should you do about this situation? What is your advice from spirit regarding this person and this situation? Aw, it's so sweet. I always love these positive messages. loving my decks, especially this angel deck. They're saying they want you to go with the flow. You need to like slowly flow out of this relationship, and saying the winds of change are around you. Basically, there's a lot of changes coming into your life anyways, and you might not even find yourself with the actual time to put into this relationship and invest in it anyways. So I do feel like life is naturally pulling you apart from this person, and your recognition of the fact that they're a narcissist is helping you to like make that decision and move forward. And Spirit is also telling you to have hope, because I did get the message that there have been a lot of narcissistic friends. Maybe you had narcissistic family and you're just over it, and you're like, where are my real people at? And they're out there, your soul family is there. I'm one of them. But you will be making friends in real life that are true and are kind and will support you and will tell you the truth in the kindest way, and won't be so clingy. You know, real friends, they got their own thing going on. Everybody's got their own thing going on, and legit people don't have time to cause drama because they're so busy slaying their goals and taking up opportunities and creating a great life for themselves that they don't have time for drama. And that's the kind of people you want to be with. People that inspire you to be your true self and encourage you and your talents and gifts, not the people who tear you down. So they're saying have hope that people are like that out there, and you need to make space for them. So I hope that this message resonates with you. I'm sending you so much love and light with this reading. Peace out. So, just clearing my energy. If you chose the blue jasper, we're going to see what is going on with this friendship, this person and situation, and then get you some advice. So, we're seeing a lot of reversals here. Okay, so this is a different kind of narcissist that has to be the actual center of attention. Okay, so a lot of people think a narcissist is someone that's full of themselves, and that's true, but usually it's somebody who has so much self-loathing and so much insecurity that they project their securities onto others, and like the only way they can feel good is by causing drama and pain towards other people. And I see that with this person, but this person actually is somebody that is very kind of almost obsessed with themselves, wants to be the center of attention, but not in a positive way. Like, because I see the challenge card here, the star is usually a very positive card, but in this situation, it's like they can't have a healthy relationship because other people really threaten them. And here's what I'm seeing about you. You have a lot of gifts. You're an empath. You have a very unique purpose, and this person doesn't really know who they are. They're very confused. It could have been the way they've been raised or traumas that have happened to them along the path that have made them this way. And so I feel like this is the narcissistic friend that is stealing your identity, kind of like I mentioned at the beginning, reading the description. And so this person tricks you. You know, the fox upright is talking about problems being solved. Reversed, it's like somebody who's causing problems, somebody who tricks you, somebody who's very mentally and emotionally unbalanced. And maybe you're seeing that now. Maybe you were younger, you didn't know that about this person, or the more time you spend around them, the more their crazy's coming out. And you really empathize with this person because you know their story and they've told you about the things they've been through, and you can relate to them because maybe you've been through similar things. But the difference between you guys is how you're handling this. You've chosen to grow, you've chosen to thrive through what you've been through. This person is choosing to cause pain and suffering as a way of handling this, which is very unhealthy. So there's a challenge here to this friendship. It's hard because there have been good moments and there's been fun and you've been out with them a lot, and a lot of people are attracted to this person because they have a lot of energy and they have a lot of zest, but not everybody has seen the dark side of this person. And I feel like you might be one of the only people that they let that dark side out to. And it's kind of scary because you're like their outlet for that. And you're becoming a victim of theirs. And maybe you're just starting to realize that. So this is more of a toxic entanglement. This is a karmic relationship. I don't really see that you guys have a soulmate connection, but you probably got confused thinking this was a soulmate because it's almost like a trauma bond that you have with this person. They've caused so much trauma, they bring you up and they bring you down. And so you can actually become addicted to the narcissistic relationship because you're always going back for attention and for approval from them, but then they give it to you sometimes, but other times they throw you down. I actually feel like they're a lot more codependent on you than you are on them. This person always calls you. If they don't have anyone to go to this event with, you're the one they call, and they're like, come to me with this thing. But they're the first to ditch you if somebody else shows up. And so it's like you're constantly getting discarded by this person, constantly getting ditched by them, and just once again, they're very imbalanced. And furthermore, I'm getting this card that's saying, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you about this person, telling you that, you know, they gift you something, they're giving you gifts. So they might have given you a lot of gifts or bought you things or, you know, paid for your stuff or whatever. And so you like feel like you owe them or something in some way. And that's one of the ways that they string you along. And so they're saying, pay attention to the red flags because these gifts they're trying to buy the right to mess with you and to fuck with you and to screw with your mind, basically. And so just very tumultuous relationship here. And I feel like it's hard for you to shine around this person because they won't let you. They always have to be the star. So there's this beautiful message coming out to you telling you it's time for you to shine. It's okay for you to claim domain over your areas of expertise. It's okay to brand yourself and to be proud of who you are. And you've been put down and shamed for who you are by this person, maybe in a very covert way, maybe in a passive-aggressive way. They're saying it's time to let this go and continue to be who you are without shame because this had nothing to do with you. It had to do with their problems. So this is saying it's time to set yourself apart from the crowd and let who you are and all that you have to offer become your brand. Let yourself be known. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your beauty and your gifts and your art and everything that you do because it's unique and very needed at this time on the planet. So it's okay for you to show off. It's okay for you to be the star. And I think this person has almost brainwashed you that you're not the star, they are, and they don't understand that like you can shine and they can shine and we can all shine together. When you win, I win. When I win, you win. No, that's not their mentality at all. And so next, what I'm seeing you need to do is be clear about where your boundaries are with this person. You might have to start saying no to them, but what you'll realize is you can't say no to a narcissist. They will always find a way to quote unquote punish you for saying no. So you need to kind of back away from this relationship. They're saying whenever they ask you to do something, your impulse is just to answer yes because you've been trained that way by them. But they're saying you have the power to answer however you wish. Make decisions based on how you really feel, draw boundaries, and remember that you're free to roam at will along your own path. You have a right to live your life however you choose, and you don't have to feel guilty for the desires of your heart. This person has tricked you into sharing your desires and your innermost thoughts with them, but what they do is they make you feel guilty for the things that you want and make you feel like you're not worthy. And so it's not going to be positive for your growth to spend that much time around this person, to let them in your life. So let's go ahead and just see some advice for you regarding this person and situation. Well, they're saying there's going to be synchronicity happening, and I actually feel like you're going to be making some new friends. And if you're not with a romantic partner, you might even meet a romantic partner, and that is actually naturally going to take you away from this person. They're saying expect that you and this person are going to have a falling out, and to try to stick with it, and just hopefully this awareness of the fact that they do have some narcissistic tendencies, or they're a frenemy, or whatever you want to call it or label it. Just know that if in your heart you're not feeling safe about this, you need to start walking away. Also, embrace your weirdness. Like we said before, you can be the star in your own life, and it's okay to embrace your weirdness. They make fun of your little tics and habits and things and you like, but that's what makes you special, and don't let them take away the special side of you. You're very creative, and you're also a nurturer, which makes sense why you would, gravitate towards someone who has a lot of pain, but you're gonna have to have the courage to walk away from this eventually because it's not serving your highest good. So I hope that this message resonates with you. I'm sending you extra love and light with this message. Peace out. So for those of you who chose the Yaman crystal, we're gonna go ahead and get your cards regarding this situation. and this person and what their deal is and everything. Whoa. Okay, so the Three of Swords is kind of intense. This is a person who's constantly in crisis mode. They really have a lot of sorrow. There's been a lot of pain in their life. And so as an empath, you understand this and you connect with this and you want to be there for this person because of it. But this is basically how they're tricking you and how they're getting you to feel that sympathy. So they're thriving off of the love and the sympathy that you're giving them because that's your gift as an empath. But this person is abusing that. Their heart is very wounded. They're grieving a lot. They are very unstable. Maybe they've even threatened to harm themselves or they self-harm or something. There's a message about that. They have a lot of pity for themselves and they want people to feel pity for them. And they're very jealous, they're very jealous of you. And this is somebody who puts people on a pedestal in a way, if that makes sense. Attracts a lot of toxic romantic relationships or other friendships that are toxic. Has times where they're really, really low, but then they're also really, really high sometimes. So you never know what you're gonna get. You never know when that phone rings or when you show up at their place, if they're gonna be down, 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 or they're gonna be up, up, up. You don't know, are we gonna party tonight or are we gonna cry tonight? What's gonna go on, And so this is saying this person has come into your life to help you learn and to teach you. And as an empath, it's important to understand what a true friendship is and what, an abuser or a narcissistic person is versus what a healthy relationship looks like. So sometimes you can't understand what a healthy relationship is until you experience a relationship that's not healthy. And so that's what this is for you. There is huge incompatibility in this relationship is what I'm seeing. There's a lot of fighting. You're not the one who's usually causing it. You know your true identity is a spirit in flesh, and you know that you have a true purpose, but this person doesn't see it like that. This person's woe is me, the world's against me, poor me, don't you feel bad for me, always trying to get that sympathy from people. Having a lot of sorrow, and they lack self-love. So this has caused them to lack empathy as well. So this is the blank card. This is the jaded card, saying that this person doesn't have a lot of remorse for you. And sometimes, since they're down a lot, you want to be down and express that to your friend and have them be there for you. But they're almost just like, how can you feel down if I'm feeling worse than you, kind of stuff. So there is injustice because it's not fair. You give so much to this relationship, but you really don't receive a lot in return. This is also the death card, saying there will be a death to this relationship, but it's going to lead you to a rebirth and finding new friendships and manifesting new opportunities in your life once you don't have so much toxic energy around you. This is also saying that this person has caused you to feel very insecure because they have a lot of insecurities, and so they project it onto you. For instance, if they're really insecure about, let's say their nose, okay, and they're constantly in the mirror looking at their nose, and there's a bump on it, or there's this, or I don't like it, complaining about it, and then they're gonna look at you, and they're gonna criticize your nose, and laugh about it, or make fun of it in front of other people. They will deflect the things they're self-conscious about, whether it's a body thing, or it's a mental thing, or it has to do with their situation. They will project it onto you. And so you're confused because you have these insecurities, but they might not even actually be yours. You are constantly apologizing to this person. You apologize to this person all the time, and it might even be causing you to apologize all the time in your life. And so really check yourself. Are you apologizing all the time to this person? Because I feel like that's what they get off on almost. It's like they want someone to be like, I'm sorry, and to grovel at their feet, and they like feeling powerful and being like, you know what, I don't want to forgive you, or I'm going to give you the silent treatment or something, and I'm going to make you pay. And they're very about revenge, and they blame things on people. They won't take responsibility. And so there's a message here that's telling you to free yourself. You need to take back control of your life. You've gotten in way too deep with this person, and there's a card here that's saying you're being gently reminded not to get caught in the chaos of the adult world where fear, greed, and suffering are commonplace. You have a very youthful, lighthearted energy, and the way you are with this person is just not you, and they're taking advantage of your kindness. And so this says you're being reminded that the criticism of other people, like when this person criticizes you, it has nothing to do with you and has everything to do with them and their own personal walk in life. So they're saying it's time to free yourself of the guilt and the shame that this person has inflicted upon you and to reclaim the innocence that you left behind as a child. So to move past this, open your heart to things that gave you joy as a child. Remember fantasy and imagination. Do not get lost in the chaos of the world, which has nothing to do with you. You're a light worker, and your energy and your powers are not for the narcissist, it's for other people. Then the last message here is saying reach out to that new friend. Maybe there's somebody new coming into your life, or maybe you've already kind of met somebody and you're thinking maybe I should hang out with them. This is saying right now is actually the perfect time to reach out to this new person who's left an impression on you, and you're going to be gifted optimism, and you're going to be given guidance and clarity in your communication. So I do see you moving past this. It was a bump in the road. You've learned a lot from it, and hopefully this reading provides you clarity. I will be talking a lot more about narcissism and narcissistic abuse on the channel. So many people have been asking about it. It's actually one of my missions and purpose to educate other people on this and to help people thrive and grow through this. But in the meantime, check out resources. There's a lot of resources here on YouTube. If you would like to learn more, only trust the resources that resonate the most of you. I really like Lisa A. Romano's channel. She's helped me a lot about understanding narcissism and healing from it. Also, Melanie Tonia Evans, her channel is great. They're both very positive. Some people who talk about narcissism, for me, since I'm such a sensitive empath, are very angry and very intense, and it triggers me. So I like people who talk about it in a very gentle, positive way. But also check out other channels, because sometimes seeing other people get angry about it and like really talking about it in an intense way helps you to realize how serious it is, and how and to validate what you've been through, because you can feel like you're crazy because the narcissist will isolate you, and sometimes you're the only person that they're showing that side of themselves to at the moment, you know? And so just be open. I do feel like this is part of life. If you're an empath, you are going to come against some narcissists, and we're going to talk more about how to have healthy boundaries, how to thrive through this, and a healthy boundary talk will be coming up very soon. And I just want to say I'm sending all of you guys who watch this reading extra love and light, and I hope that you guys can find a way to thrive through this, and I'm sending you all the best. I will see you guys later. Peace out.